Fellas, I have spent so much time with this pulse rifle. I have tried multiple trait combinations, and obviously the goal here is to find the god roll. But what if I told you that there are multiple god rolls on this weapon? Now, I want to preface this review by saying that not everyone is a fan of aggressive burst pulse rifles. I know we just got the revision 0, but just like that one, if you use it in its 4-round burst mode, you either love it or you hate it. But if you're a fan of pulse rifles like Insidious, Sacred Providence, Blast Furnace, well, by God, Disparity is gonna blow you away. Now, first and foremost, this is a seasonal weapon. It is a craftable weapon at that. By the way, if you haven't checked out our guide on how to farm Season the Seraph, feel free to check that one out. I would say overall, in comparison to say Season the Plunder, obtaining attunements this season does seem to be a tad bit easier. RNG is not as punishing, and again, there are certain unlocks you can get there with Clovis that allows for more dedicated drops week to week. Now, some things I want to get out of the way real quick when we talk about aggressive burst pulse rifles. They arguably have one of the best TTK values in the game. They sit at 0.73 time to kill. And even though there's high impacts in the game that have a technically faster time to kill value, aggressives don't require all crits. They have more forgiveness. Technically, they can get the job done in 7 crits in 1 body. I know some of you are like, Cross, what about 6 crits in 2 body? There's some slight rounding there, right? But these are more forgiving than that of high impacts. Now, high impacts did just get a buff this past season where they are more accurate than what they were before. At least intrinsically, their perk doesn't turn off when you're actually strafing. And we still need to review high impacts here soon. But back to Disparity. Amongst 4-round burst pulse rifles, outside of maybe revision 0, I think this is the best one in the game. Disparity has 19 zoom, which is +1 over Sacred Providence, Blast Furnace, even Insidious, and it even outranges the 4-round burst version of revision 0. Matter of fact, when we actually stack up the range on this weapon, if you were to really invest in the range stats, Disparity can reach past 45 meters, which is nuts. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, Cross, this is a little deceptive. You know Blast Furnace has scopes. That weapon with the right scopes can reach well past 55 meters. And you're right, I know. Bungie just don't make them like that no more, right? That Rasmussen scope from back in the day, y'all remember that bad baby? Oh, it was clean. Blast Furnace was a one of a kind. With that being said though, Disparity possesses something that tacks on even more range, and that's actually in its origin trait, Ambush. This is a new origin trait on these seasonal weapons where it improves range, handling, and damage against combatants during the opening moments of an engagement. Now, a lot of people thought that this was just gonna be an improvement inside of PvE, but it's not. It's actually an improvement inside of PvP as well, and it's present on all of our seasonal weapons. But inside of PvE, Disparity here actually gets 10% more damage for 2 seconds during the opening moments of an engagement. It actually reactivates after 3.25 seconds when out of combat. But inside of PvP, you don't get that damage buff, but you do get the benefits of the range, as well as all the other stat benefits. And this is somewhere between 3 to 3.5 meters increase, again, during the opening engagement. What this means is not only does this allow this weapon to almost get to that 50-meter range if you were, say, rocking a max range roll, but instead, the way I look at it is you can really kind of dabble in a more stable roll. You can rock Arrowhead Break and max out that recoil direction without having to commit to a range boosting barrel perk. You can do a stability masterwork. Because I'm not gonna lie, guys, once you get past 45 meters with this pulse rifle, it just loses traction, even with the range bumps. And to me, this pulse rifle, you're gonna want to commit more to consistency. Personally, I love Arrowhead Break with the stability masterwork, Aztecross rounds. I know some of you are probably saying, Cross, what about steady rounds? Again, steady rounds is good, but it does hurt your range. So why not just commit there with Aztecross rounds? To me, guys, that's the base of this. Combine that with the ambush origin traits, and all that's left for us is to decide which traits to go for. And my God, is this a tough one. It's a tough one for controller players, for mouse and keyboard players, for PvE players. I wanted to try them all, and we pretty much did get to try every single one of them. Let me just go over some of the trait combinations that we tried. We tried a kill clip roll, a head seeker roll, a desperado roll, which yes, is also on this weapon. We combined it with the likes of rapid hits and moving targets. What made every single one of these even harder to choose between is you can get enhanced versions. Now, things like enhanced desperado and enhanced kill clip just give that slight half a second improvement there to duration, but things like enhanced head seeker actually tacks on a little more stability. Enhanced moving target not only increases target acquisition, but gives improved target acquisition. And enhanced rapid hits increases both stability and reload speed substantially. That first column of traits, guys, that one was a tough one. Really. Rapid hits, moving target, hell, even heating up, Eye of the Storm. So many combinations for PvP players. I think for PvE players, it's pretty straightforward. An outlaw roll or a rapid hit roll in combination with the likes of One for All, Frenzy, Headstone. You can roll with one of these other damage perks, but for PvE, those would be the ones I would go for. But for PvP, oh boy, this was tough. stuff. Guys, I'm going to give you my experiences with this pulse rifle because that's really what these reviews come down. I've collected hours and hours of me playing with this thing. The roles that I arrived at to be the best. For 1v1 engagements, this may surprise you, Headseeker felt really, really good. Matter of fact, controller players. I did a combination of moving target and Headseeker together with a targeting mod. Now, the weapon's base aim assist is really not that strong. Like in comparison to things like Sacred Providence, it's a little bit worse, but a little bit better than that of Blast Furnace, and pretty much tied there with Insidious. But if you were to commit here to moving target and Headseeker, and if you didn't really concentrate on going for the crit every single time, but just starting to land that body shot, this does kick the damage up, but since the most recent buff to Headseeker, it also increases aim assist. So even though the weapon sits at a base 45 aim assist, when you combine it with the passive buffs of moving target, which base is an extra 10 aim assist, I'm speculating that like enhanced moving target is like 15 aim assists. That puts us up to 60, okay? Combine that with whatever Headseeker is granting you, plus double pulse rifle targeting mods and a targeting adjuster mod. Hell, fellas, you've got some hella good aim assists on an archetype of pulse rifle that normally doesn't have the best aim assist values. Better than high impacts, but in comparison to things like rapid fires and even lightweights, a lot of people like those pulse rifles because, well, their base aim assist is so high. People love BXR. They also love it because it has 85 aim assists. The beautiful thing about this trait combination is you actually do get aim assist values close to that. And I do occasionally play on controller, and some of this gameplay is controller gameplay. And I can feel this trait combination at work. This is also the same trait combination we utilize for the Dawning pulse rifle, Stay Frosty. Again, I said it over there. It felt good. And just like here on Disparity, it also felt good. It's really nice to use trait combinations that complement each other. And to me, that moving target, especially enhanced moving target with enhanced Headseeker, these things seem to complement each other very nicely here. Now, a lot of people immediately jump to rapid hit as the go-to option, simply because this is a 4-round burst pulse rifle, meaning every single shot in that burst is applying a stack of rapid hits. It's great. I've talked about it highly before on things like Insidious and even things like Sacred Providence. Blast Furnace, when we actually reviewed the god roll to that weapon, we didn't have rapid hits. We just had Zim moments. But Zim moment with kill clip felt phenomenal. In this situation, rapid hits and kill clip is the obvious trait combinations for my PvP players. And if you don't want kill clip, because yes, kill clip is only giving you a 25% buff, then Desperado. Now I'm going to give you some TTK values. Again, base is 0.73 seconds. Headseeker though, the optimal TTK when buffed is technically 0.67. Granted, you have to land a body shot in there though. So at the end of the day, there's not any real deviation, just added forgiveness. But depending on the resilience value, you can secure a kill in 5 crits, 3 body, or 6 crits, 2 body with Headseeker. Kill clip though, increases our damage to 33 per crit and 20 per body. This pretty much guarantees you the 2 bursts no matter what. It's a tremendous amount of damage, guys. 5 crits, 2 body with ease. Now, Desperado is an interesting one. Back in the day, pre-nerf Desperado, I would actually say that was the go-to trait no matter what. Back when it was only present on Messenger or Redrix. But since then, Desperado has been nerfed. It's not the overwhelming rate of fire that it once offered. On top of that, it requires a precision kill in order to proc it, whereas things like Kill Clip just requires a kill to activate. I think when choosing between Desperado and Kill Clip, both of those perks perform very well inside of 6v6. As a matter of fact, I think Desperado heating up is a fantastic trait combination because you can imagine getting a kill, reloading, and just having a bullet hose ready there with heating up. Granted, rapid hits with that increase in reload speed, especially enhanced rapid hits, that's what's synergizing so well with reload activated traits like Desperado and Kill Clip. So for me, guys, inside of 6v6, either Desperado or Kill Clip with rapid hits all day long. But in 1v1 scenarios, again, I was really liking that enhanced moving targets with that Headseeker roll. And again, all of these traits are interchangeable. It was very difficult for me, guys, to really narrow down which trait combination was really the god roll here, because there's just so many different things that can work. Now, something I do want to mention, this weapon comes with Hake breach armaments. We also have anti-barrier pulse rifle this season. If you want to know a way to shred barriers, and everyone's complaining about Titans right now, always sitting behind their barriers, guys, this is the pulse rifle to do it. Disparity with Hake breach armaments and anti-barrier pulse rifle absolutely shreds Titan barriers. Even after we compared it to Revision Zero still didn't do the damage that Disparity was able to do, as anti-barrier is built into Revision Zero. It's kind of a weird thing, just something to take note of here, guys. Disparity is doing more damage to barriers than that of Revision Zero. Just make sure you're selecting Hake breach armaments. And you may be in a situation inside of Trials where you do need to shred a silent barrier or just another barrier as quickly as possible. Overall, guys, I think Disparity is a very, very good weapon. I think its sights, being that red dot, is really, really tiny. So you're either gonna like it or you're gonna hate it. I actually like thick reticles, but some people love those little tiny reticles. Disparity Disparity has that. One thing to keep in mind when using these weapons, all of these 4-round burst pulse rifles, is you want to go ahead and be readjusting your reticle onto the target or the next target before the 4th shot actually lands. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but my personal experience, especially with Disparity, is like recentering your reticle on target before the 4th shot is even fired is how you're going to get those consistent 2 bursts. And I will say Disparity can consistently get you those 2 burst kills, which is absolutely beautiful. So guys, that is our review here for this weapon. Good luck on the grind. Definitely one of the best weapons for this season. It outpaces many other legendary aggressives. It outranges Revision 0 by quite a bit, and it's got a number of trait combinations, guys. That's literally for all players, both PvE, PvP, and whatever your input device is. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.